So my name is Josh Emerson. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Sansbank. Our mission is to democratize commercial real estate investing to allow anyone to receive passive income. Many people today want to invest in real estate-backed assets. However, one of the things that they want but don't really have is they want low minimums, they want stability, and they want liquidity. I grew up in a middle-class town in the United States without a lot of financial literacy. Now, when my friends and family want to invest, they often call me. And these are the issues I hear over and over again. And then looking at the data, 85% of millennials believe real estate investing is a good option. They think that because they're stock market skeptics. They want something that's a real asset. And with the rise of online investing, they love low minimums, and they love the fact that they don't have to be the property managers. On the property owner side, many multifamily property owners, they want to grow. However, their biggest problem is accessing capital. A lot of times, they either don't have the equity needed to do a refi, or they can't pass some sort of stringent bank requirement. So Sansbank solves both of these issues. We offer multifamily properties, cash advances, collateralized by their future profits, not by equity. And then we give the average investor access to passive income by investing in tokenized shares of those cash advances. So we're using blockchain technology to tokenize the shares, and we're maintaining everything through security tokens. A quick side note, security tokens are not crypto coins or tokens. All they do is they use smart contracts to automate compliance, and their value is 100% derived from the underlying security. Quick market analysis. We have a massive TAM since we are involved with commercial real estate in the United States. However, let's break that down, right? Our SAM is the revenue opportunity for our target market, which is multifamily properties less than 100 units. And then our SOM is the revenue opportunity of $870 million in the 4 cities we're looking to get into in the first 4 years, which is Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, and New York City. We generate revenue through origination fees, token fees, and processing fees. Our go-to-market strategy is digital first for onboarding token investors. And then for property owners, we're building out strong referral networks of real estate professionals. We're doing that right now in Los Angeles and San Diego. So far, we've launched our tokenization backend on the Ethereum test network, allowing us to build without paying gas fees. Our lending simulator and underwriting algorithms are in development currently. Our mobile development is also in progress. We're about 5 weeks out from a clickable prototype. And then within the first month of launching our full website, we've had over 300 organic web signups of those interested in being able to invest in tokens once we launch. For our team, we made sure that we had all the necessary parts to be able to launch Sansbank successfully. We have sales, we have finance and strategy with Leon, who's been in public.
Might you're on mute. Yeah.
It looks like we might have lost Josh for a sec.
Well, he's being tokenized. He'll be back.
He's being tokenized, or maybe hacked by Putin. One of the two. We'll give him a couple of seconds. It's a super interesting space, especially
on digital infrastructure for people like Luminary Media and Parker. We develop.
Oh, we lost you for a sec, Josh. Yeah, you're back. You got hacked by the Russians apparently. You want to jump back into it?
And he's gone again, right? Yeah.
He's gone again. He must have said something against the Kremlin. We apologize for the technical difficulties, folks. We lost you on the advisor slide.
Okay, I'm gonna turn off my video. Maybe that'll help with the bandwidth.
No worries. Go for it. So, who are you guys? What have you accomplished?
Great. So, from the team side, we put together a team with all the key assets.
Okay, we might have to move on to the next presenter and see if Josh can get his web connection rolling a little bit better. And let's kick it back to Josh now and see, do we have the technological chops to make it work? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I am traveling for my little sister's graduation, so I'm not at home. Okay, here we go. So just a quick recap, what Sansbank does. You're offering multifamily properties, cash advances, collateralized by future profits and not equity. so that the average investor can get access to passive income by investing in tokenized shares of the cash advances. Okay, so to pick up from where I left off, for the accomplishments, we have launched our tokenized backend on the East Test Network, our lending simulator, and algorithms for the underwriting are in development. We're about 5 weeks away from a clickable prototype. And within the first month of launching our full website, we had over 300 web signups for token investors. For the team, we knew we needed sales, which is my job, finance and strategy. So we have Leonis, the CFO, who's done over 2 decades in public companies, as well as over 5 years helping startups. Gabe is our head of infrastructure. He's done infrastructure for large tech startups such as Luminary Media. And we need another expertise in product and brand, since this is going to be direct to consumer. And Chris has been head of product for companies such as Warby Parker, Stadium Goods, and Fresh Direct. On our advisory board, we have technology, commercial real estate, and legal. And we've established partnerships with DigiShares, which is a blockchain tokenization software company. We're looking to raise $1.5 million through a convertible note that will allow us to launch the technology, scale operations, and establish firm partnerships with a big focus on legal compliance and risk management. We are sure that once we launch, we will be the go-to platform for property owners who are seeking to scale, who can't receive the normal cash or the normal refi from a bank. And we know that investors will love our app because of stability, low minimums, and liquidity. And they're just going to love how easy it is to use. Thank you.
So my first question goes right to your last slide. You said you get the investors, the real estate owners that can't qualify necessarily with banks. Does that mean you're going to have the loser clients that have higher default rates?
No, so the reason we only offer these cash advances to properties that are profitable today. And the reason they can't get bank loans is either because they've purchased the property recently, so they don't have the equity from long holding appreciation, or we've seen some where the person might have several properties, so they can't qualify for certain types of loans, or they have certain things that banks, for whatever reason, just won't work with them around.
Okay. Also, you're tackling one of the biggest and oldest and slower of industries. How do you do that and then bring them up to date with, okay, actually, but we're using a blockchain to tokenize the loan? Do you have any issues and do you foresee challenges? How do you plan to grow, scale, and make that sales pipeline work?
For sure. So the blockchain is just a tool, right? Right now, when banks are offering loans, the property owners aren't asking if they're using AWS or Microsoft or whatever, right? So we're not really even mentioning the blockchain. It's, hey, this is the type of loan. This is how you qualify for it. And we're working with their trusted network of brokers, property managers, insurance, people like that, who will say, hey, I hear you're looking for some sort of expansion capital. Sansbank does it based on future profits and not on equity, so maybe you should talk to them. So we don't see blockchain being an issue. It's just educating that network. And like I said, we've already started to establish that in Los Angeles and San Diego.
And why are you building this?
I'm building this because I alluded to it in the beginning. I grew up, for the beginning of my life, we grew up pretty poor and then middle class. And as I went to a good school, paid for by the military, and then started my own companies. And I realized that the real advantage in investing comes from long-term views and yield, right? So I wanted to get these asset-backed returns into the hands of my friends and family who have been blocked out of it due to accreditation requirements, high minimums, and the inability to feel safe because it's either too volatile, right? Like the stock market or crypto, or because it's not liquid and they're afraid they might need that capital sometime in the future.
Great answer. Gabriel, Martin, do you have questions for Josh?
I had a question. It's obviously, everything touching blockchain is of interest to me, but you mentioned for the investors, one of the best features of what you're offering is, there's no minimum. Actually, my question is, how do you compete with all of those, crowdfunding platforms where you can invest in real estate as well with very low minimum, sometimes as low as $10. So what's the value added for them? And many of those investors who like real estate maybe are not too much tech savvy, and they might be scared of the word blockchain and be like, oh, let me go on a regular crowdfunding website that I understand, instead of going for blockchain if it's the same minimum amount. Hopefully my question is clear.
Yes, that was a clear question. So let me pull this up. Here we go. Okay, so on the investor side, right, there are other platforms that don't use blockchain that have low minimums. However, they have lockup periods, right? So Fundrise right now, they've reduced it from 500 recently to $10. But if you try to receive your capital back within those 5 years, they charge 5 to 10%, right? So it's not actually liquid. And then in terms of now they're afraid of blockchain, we are actually using Web 2 in the front and Web 3 again in the back end, where they can come in and it feels like any other normal mobile app. But what we're doing is the reason why our minimums are $100 and that there is liquidity is because we're using Web 3 and the blockchain base, right? So again, we're removing that barrier to entry. And that's why I don't even have blockchain-based companies on here, because it's too difficult for the average person to use those companies still. But for us, we're making it, and that's why a product's so important to us, because we have to meet investors where they are.
I agree.
Does that
That's
answer
a
your
great
question?
answer. Thank you. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Martin, anything from your side?
Still think so. Do you make the money based on the rent fees, or do you make the money based on the rate of return from the client? So
yeah, our revenue comes from origination fees. So we're charging based on how large the loan is. So that's against the property owner. Then we charge a small $1 fee against token investors. It's a one-time fee when they first buy in. And so our rates of return are going to be 4 to 12. It'll be really closer to 8 to 12. So that first year, it'll be 1% lower, and the rest of that is theirs. And then we charge a payment processing fee, since we are integrating. Part of our iterations is to integrate with payment processing companies to automate most of the payment processing. And that also reduces risk for our investors. So we'll charge a small per door fee there as well.
Because you are going to be on chain, is there any possibility of unlocking crypto investors to get into real estate so that they don't have to convert crypto and can go direct into real estate?
Yes. So we're building non-crypto natives first, but there is going to be an option to invest in crypto, and we would just instantly sell the crypto into USDC, which is what we're using on the back end. And then if they want their payments in crypto, they would receive their dividends, and we would sell the USDC into the crypto of their choice that they would receive as their monthly dividends.
Okay. I'm by no means a tax accountant or giving any type of financial advice, but I think there could probably be some interesting situations there that allow people to get into the space and something that's a little more stable.
Yeah. This is a great because education is big for us, right? So I would never tell someone to do something that I wouldn't do. And I think stable real estate backed investments need to be a part of your portfolio. And so does other things, right? So we're happy to have people who want to diversify into us from different, the crypto world and different types of worlds. So.
Awesome. Great answers all around. Anything else, Martin, Gabriel, or audience who's tuning in at the startuptank.com/live, where you guys can, of course, subscribe and add questions, etc., to any of the great founders here or in future sessions.
Subscribe. You have to subscribe. You have to subscribe.
Hit the subscribe bell button. Yeah. You can do that there or in your podcast player of choice, although it helps with video.
Not a question, but I wanted to. Oh, Martin, do you have a question? I think I heard you. No,
you can go ahead.
I just wanted to mention, it's not a question, but I think it's smart, the way of return that you're showing us. Like if you are able to go up to 12%, I think it's substantial. You are very early on, almost pre-launch. So to me, it really is an execution play. Like if you're able to actually deliver, get properties to be tokenized and get investors to invest in them and stuff like that, if you're able to do all that, you're onto something really great. So yeah, now it's up to you to execute. But interesting concept, and you know the numbers do make sense. So I'm eager to see what you do.
Awesome. Well, I'd be happy to speak with you sometime offline, Gabriel, and go into our execution plan in more detail.